In this video, I'm going to show you how to give work updates to your boss without rambling. You'll learn how to sound more confident, communicate with clarity, show your boss that you're on top of the work, and most importantly, avoid unnecessary follow-up questions. Here is the thing. Follow-up questions often arise when your boss is not clear on something after your updates. And when you ramble, it becomes even harder to follow your train of thought, which creates gap in understanding that leads to unnecessary questions. What is the timeline? Why are we not moving forward? That's not what I asked. Can you answer me directly? But why didn't we anticipate this? All of a sudden, you're explaining, backtracking, trying to remember details that you should have mentioned in the first place. By the end of that conversation, you start to question your competence, even though the work itself is going well. Thankfully, this is not always a competence problem. It is a communication problem. And the key is to understand what your boss needs from your updates. Once you can anticipate the questions your boss is likely to have and prepare your updates to answer those questions, it becomes much easier to communicate in a way that builds confidence without inviting more questions. So, how can you do that? Before we get into the how, let's talk about why it's important for you to give clear updates to your boss. One, it anchors your confidence. By this, I mean both your confidence for speaking as well as your confidence for delivering results on the job. You see, when you ramble a lot and fail to get your points across as a result, you may start to question your capacity. This becomes even worse when your boss barrages you with follow-up questions that further throws you off the curve. I mean, talk about a confidence killer. Two, it creates trust. Giving clear updates often shows your depth of thinking. A well-structured update will help you build trust with your boss, which further strengthens your own confidence. Three, it makes it easier for you to get the support that you need. Challenges are a part of the work life, and sometimes you rely on your boss to keep the momentum going. Making this ask clearly helps you to get it. Now that we've looked at the benefits, let's talk about the how. Every great update answers 4 questions your boss already has in mind. Where are we? What has changed? What is getting in the way? What do you need from me? If you want to give your updates without rambling and inviting unnecessary follow-up questions, structure your updates to answer these 4 questions using the 4-part update framework. Part 1, give a high-level status. Starting with the current status of the work answers your boss's first question: where do things stand? Where the completed work is 100%, where would you say you currently are? 60%, 70%, 80%? Where it is not possible or meaningful to quantify your status in this way, try using any of these phrases that match what you're reporting on and where you currently stand. We're on track. We're ahead of schedule. We're slightly delayed. We're in testing. We're waiting for client's feedback. We're ready for review. Starting with the high-level status gives your boss an umbrella view of where things stand and immediately shows progress or stagnation. Part 2, talk about your wins. Here, briefly highlight any progress you've made since the last update or since the work began, if this is the first update that you're giving. This is where you briefly flesh out the percentage status you began with. And it is best to think in milestones, not activities. For instance, if your boss asks you to prepare a training calendar, your milestones can be that the department heads have all submitted their priorities, you've completed the draft calendar, the budget has been approved. Instead of saying things like you've sent out an email, you've met with this person or that person. So think in terms of milestones and not activities. Part 3, highlight the risk. If you're encountering any challenges or you've envisaged that you will, let your boss know early. Leaders generally don't like to be blindsided. Hence, if someone or something is a blocker to your progress, include that in your update. Even if that someone is you, listen, owning a delay before your boss finds out helps you build trust with them than pretending that everything is fine. However, when you've highlighted the challenges or the problems, don't stop there. Talk about the actions you've taken to resolve the problem, or at least share one idea that you have as to how those challenges can be mitigated. This builds trust, shows your boss that you're thinking ahead, and gives your boss time to help you where necessary. The fourth part, ask for the decision or support that you need. If you need your boss to do anything for you to keep moving, this is when you ask for whatever that is. It can be getting their approval on something or having them speak to another leader in another department. Whatever it is, let them know as part of your closing of that update. And if you don't need any help from them, then close with how you're progressing. There you have it, the 4 parts updates framework that would help you give any update to your boss, whether it's a 60 seconds update or a 30-minute presentation. The goal is the same. Answer the questions that your boss already has in mind. Where are we? What has changed? What's holding us back? What do you need from me? When you do that, you sound more confident, demonstrate that you are on top of the work, and dramatically reduce unnecessary questions. So tell me in the comments, what kind of updates do you often give to your boss? And how will you use the 4 parts update framework to do that in the future? Sometimes, even when you've covered the most important things that your boss already would love to know, they will still have some follow-up questions. If you'd like to know how to answer questions that come up after your updates, check out this video where I shared how you can answer tough questions at work.